Okay, guys, I'm hoping this is going to help you a little bit with your assignment for tomorrow about the epitaph. I know you might be stressing a little bit because you were absent, so hopefully this can help a little bit. Ben Franklin wrote this epitaph when he was 22 years old, so not that much older than you are right now. I know it's a little morbid to have to write your own epitaph, but actually the most famous of people sometimes do that, and we'll actually talk about that briefly on Tuesday. The format, you can tell, is no rhyme, so you don't have to worry about this. This part and the conclusion are expected. I want your full name in there. It can be an abbreviation, but it can't be a nickname. Then I want the date that you were born, the actual formal date, but for us, the date of death is going to be 21 and then leave it blank. Because if anyone puts December 21st, 2012, you're going to be in really big trouble with me. The important thing for this is that you name yourself somehow using a noun. Who are you? What are you? Maybe you're a daughter, a sibling, an athlete, a scholar, a reader, an artist, a musician, a singer. I don't care what it is, but it needs to be a noun. Now, Franklin did it, and he said he was a printer, which at the ripe old age of 22 was pretty presumptuous of him, although he was actually a printer by that point. Most of you aren't a designated occupation, so it seems like every year someone tells me that they're a doctor. You're not a doctor yet. Maybe that's what you want to be when you grow up, but I want to know what you are in this moment. Now, knowing that, make a list of the things that correspond with that noun. For example, you can see he has here cover, book, contents, lettering, gilding, work. Actually, it's all these things that are in capitalized, corrected, amended, that these are all things that correspond with him because you're going to make an extended comparison. You've done an extended metaphor with Jonathan Edwards, and now you're actually going to do an extended comparison that is a simile. Notice that word like there tells us a simile. It needs to be a minimum of 8 lines. I do not want 15, 20, 30 lines. I've got a gazillion papers to grade, and in all honesty, I want you to try to be as succinct as possible. Certainly he was. So choose something that you are. That's this noun. But then develop it, extend it, make a complete thought using descriptive words. Notice he has words that are capitalized, and that deals with what he is describing. I don't care whether you have capitalization or not, but if you do, make sure it's consistent and that there's a purpose for it. Otherwise, the only thing that should be capitalized is, for the most part, at the beginning of the sentence. Punctuation counts, so don't have no punctuation, have the correct punctuation. And hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, post those on the Facebook page. The tombstones are available for you. There are 4 varieties. You can choose whichever of the 4 you want, or you can create your own. If I were you, I would upload this into, or download it rather, into Notability. You can color it right there. You can type out your epitaph. You can handwrite it. I don't care. Send it to a printer. Now it has to be sent to a color printer. So if you don't have a color printer, type it all out, write it out, and then print it out and color it by hand. Do not suddenly remember the period before this is due, it has to be colored, and try to get away with coloring it in black or gray and telling me that's the theme, because that doesn't work for me. I gave you flowers on your tombstones to brighten your day, so brighten mine, please. Additionally, you'll see on the instructions an opportunity to earn 2 points extra credit, and that you have to create an additional tombstone. Don't just write this on a piece of paper and hand it to me. An additional tombstone about someone who is famous who is dead. Don't do someone who is famous who is alive. Do someone who is famous that is dead. And I gave you a couple of examples. You don't have to write a long epitaph about it, just something short and sweet that is exemplatory, of that individual. You also need to include their birth date and their death date. Now, the exception would be if it's a if it's a character. Notice I have Bugs Bunny on there. If you have a fictional character, you can do one for them. But I would take a few minutes and go online and see if you can figure out when that character was created. For example, if I wanted to do something like Hester Prynne from the Scarlet Letter, I would have her born in 1850 and then just have some kind of death date that's appropriate. So I hope that helps, guys. Good luck.